Here is something simple and fun you can make with just an ESP32 microcontroller, a buzzer, a display, an ultrasonic sensor, and a basketball. Starting with the wiring, although it looks complicated, it is a lot easier than you think. So these 4 pins, they connect to the sensor, and then they are initialized at the top. Same with all the other pins. So for the buzzer, I initially didn't have this resistor there, but it was too loud and annoying, and the resistor turns down the power and it makes it a lot quieter. So you could add more resistance if you want. What I have there is 100 ohms. And then this 7-segment display, it has a lot of wires. And I would have had zero clue how to do this, but just look up how to wire this online and it'll give you a pretty good tutorial. The code is the hard part, so I'll have that linked in the description, but I'm also going to explain each part. These declare what pin corresponds to what thing. This limit is the max distance that the sensor needs to see something to record a point and buzz, and then this just sets the points. These all set the 7-segment display. Same with this. And this sets up the pin for the output of the sound sensor, the input of the sound sensor, and then the buzzer output. It also sets the limit for the max distance to 0. Coming down here, I just copied all this code from online. It's really helpful. So basically all this does is this records how long it takes for the sound to hit the object and bounce back, and this records how far the object actually is from the sensor. And then this, if the distance is less than the limit, which would mean that the basketball is there, it'll turn the buzz pin on, and then if the points aren't at 9, then it'll add to the points. And then if the points are 9, it'll set it back to 0 because that display can only do single digits. And then it has a delay too, because if it was always checking, then it would record multiple points in one shot. And then this display digit, it was just called upon there. This works with the display and it just sets the number. For the final product, I just attached it to my door here. My boards already came with something that let me stick it onto the door, but if not, you could have just as easily taped it. So I attached my sensors up near the hoop so it can detect anything coming in front of it. And I just taped that to the back. And then obviously it needs power. So here I had a power bank that converts this the D battery into USB that then comes around and plugs into the chip. It is as easy as that, and everything I had came from the Superstarter ESP32 project kit.